So the freaking craziest thing that's happened to me in a long time happened just the other day, and I've got to share it with you. I bought a game, a Holy Grail game that's worth like all the monies, and it came sealed. Not expecting that, and I need to tell you about it. Hey guys, I'm RNG Gamer. I do play all my games randomly. I don't usually buy all my games randomly, but random things do happen. Here are my pickups, not Christmas pickups, stuff from before that. The Christmas pickups, those are in a future video. Future RNG worries about those. Let's just dive right in. And I'm not gonna make you wait to hear about the awesome game till the end. I'm gonna tell it right up front. But there's some other cool stuff you wanna learn about, and we're doing a giveaway. Strictly Limited Games has given me a copy of the Irem collection to give away to one of you viewers. If you wanna learn how to win this, just free, watch the video and I'll tell you how to do that. So the PS2 is known for having a bunch of super expensive survival horror games on it. You got Haunting Ground, like a $400 game. There's Rule of Rose, which is like a $700 game. There's Kuon, which is like, I don't know, like $1,000 or something like that now. But there's one in that category that you just can't get. Why? It was never released in the United States. Everybody talks about it. What's the game? It's Michigan Report from Hell. It was only released in Japan and in Europe. And one of my channel members, Crystal, had a copy of it or found a copy of it or whatever and wanted to do a trade with me, and we did the trade. Now here's the problem. The Japanese version, which she sent to me here, I can't play it. It's in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese. What am I gonna do? Well, you gotta buy the PAL version, the European version. That has English on it. Oh, but there's a huge problem with that. The PS2 isn't region free. You have to have a PS2 from the region the game was made. You want to play a Japanese game, you gotta have a Japanese PS2. You want to play an American game, you gotta have a NTSCU PlayStation 2. If you want to play a European game, well, you have to have a PAL PS2. So just get a PAL PS2, right? That's no issue. Wrong again. Guess what? European PS2s don't run at 60 hertz. They run at 50 hertz because European TVs run at a different refresh rate than US TVs did, which means you gotta get a PAL version of the game, you gotta get a PAL PS2, and you gotta get a PAL freaking CRT TV. No, I'm not gonna import a TV all the freaking way from Europe. Are you crazy? That'd be like thousands of dollars. So instead, I got a PS2 here and I got it region modded. There we go, pickup number 2. Modded PS2. This will play games from any region, output it at 60 hertz. It'll also play backup games. Now I'm not concerned with that. That's just what the mod chip happened to do. But I'm so glad it did because of what happened next. Crystal sent me a copy of Michigan Report from Hell, the PAL version. I traded her for it, fair market value. But it just so happened the one she picked up, it's sealed. It's a sealed copy of Michigan Report from Hell. One of like the 4 Holy Grail horror games on the PS2. And it's sealed. I can't open this game. I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to tear the seal off this. How much is this worth? I don't even flippin' know. It doesn't even pop up in Game Eye. It's like $450 for a disc-only copy. So you tell me what a sealed copy of Michigan Report from Hell goes for. This is gonna Holy Grail shelf candy piece, and I'll play it as a backup on the modded PS2. So don't worry, I'm not gonna tear this open. But thank you so much, Crystal, for this. You went above and beyond. I did not know it was sealed, but I got her something she couldn't get over in Europe. But thank you once again, and I'm blown away. There is another great YouTube channel out there that I love that really was highly influential on making me start this channel. I didn't think anybody would care about the kind of games I enjoyed, but after I saw Shmup Junkie's YouTube channel, I realized that a strong personality and good storytelling can elevate even the most boring crap to something people might want to watch. Shoot 'em ups, not a lot of people care about shoot 'em ups or shmups. I love them, and I was like, if he can do it, maybe I can do it. Now, he's a lot better than I am, but he's kind of like semi-retired now, and he's moving, so he's selling off a large percentage of his collection. And I reached out to him and I bought part of it. I bought Summer Carnival 92 Alzadik on the not the PS Engine, the PC Engine. And it is autographed to me. To RNG Gamer from Shmup Junkie. He covered this in his videos. He talked about this game a lot. He showed it on camera, and now it's in my collection. It's gonna go right up there on my shelf. I'm gonna play it. I can't wait to play it. But thank you so much, Shmup Junkie, for all your years of awesome content. But what is this game? This is a caravan shooter. It's a little small 5-minute game that was created for an event called Summer Carnival 92, where you would practice this game beforehand and try to get the highest score you can in 5 minutes. And then at the event, whoever had the highest score would win a prize. It's kind of like the Nintendo World Championship sort of thing. So there's a 5-minute limit. It's just how well you do in those 5 minutes. And this is the game that you would practice to get good at it. And I have it autographed by Shmup Junkie now. So thankful to have this. Thank you once again. This next game, it's not even like in thematically with the rest of this video. This has just been sitting in the closet with the other, like, there's probably like 100 games in there that I haven't done a pickups video. But this is a game that got randomly selected for me to play, and I can't rip it open and talk about the freaking game till I cover it in the pickups video. So here it is, whatever. It's Graven, okay? It's Graven. I had to import this from Europe. I think this just got announced like last week for sale on limited run games. So they're putting it out here, but I bought this, I don't know, months and months and months and months ago. What is this freaking game? This game is, from what I understand, a first-person shooter, exploratory magic casting game like Hexen, but like with RPG elements. Let's just read what it says. Mystery and action, I was right about that, awaiting this gritty first-person adventure. Okay. Explore a dark fantasy world, upgrade your weapons, and learn new spells. Slay 20 plus distinct enemies and 3 bosses in various biomes. I thought this was just gonna be like a boomer shooter, like I said, like Hexen, but I looked up and it's like a 20-hour long game. So I don't know what the deal is with Graven, but I want to start playing it. I'm doing this video so I can play this game. Let's talk about another shoot 'em up. Let's talk about another YouTube channel. You guys know Radical Reggie, the Radical one? He and I are buddies. He reached out to VGNY Soft, Video Games New York Soft, and convinced them this game, and they did it. I ordered it, they didn't send it to me, I paid for it. And I waited like months for it to come in. It came in, I was super excited about it, and I stuck it in the freaking closet and didn't think about it for a few more months. But it's Risk System, and this has like really cool, kind of like chunky, bubbly graphics. It's a horizontal freaking shoot 'em up. I love it. It says it's a story-based shoot 'em up with multiple endings based on player choice and performance. Fly close to enemies and projectiles to absorb in energy and unleash risk shots. Those are called Danmaku, yes, Danmaku shoot 'em ups, where you like try to graze the bullets to build up energy. That's not a uncommon thing that's been going on in Japanese games for like 20-something years, but this is an American one. So here we go. I got number 942. There it is right there. Thank you so much, BGNY, for putting this out. Thanks, Radical Reggie. Radical. Thanks, Radical, like the reticle, like on a bullseye. Thanks, Radical Reggie, for convincing them to do this. It feels really weird to be talking about this next game. When they announced the Xbox One, all those freaking years ago, they showed a teaser trailer with a bunch of like what Xbox One games are gonna look like. And there was an exclusive Xbox One game that I've never seen anything like it. It was the thing that stood out to me on that trailer more than any other game. And the game just like didn't come out. It got delayed by a year, and they got delayed and got delayed and got delayed and got delayed. And it just came out a few years ago, and by then I'd forgotten about it. It was like 8 years late or some crap. I grabbed it. I forgot all about it. But it's called Below. And I think this might be a PAL-only release. I'm not sure if this got a US release or not. You can double check me on that. But this was in the Xbox One trailer when they announced the system. The graphical style of this is so strange. It's like these geometric environments, and it is super zoomed out. The main character is like, he or she looks, I don't even know if it's a male or a female, I don't even know. You look like you're 3 freaking pixels on the screen. That's how far zoomed out it is. That's so bizarre to me. I've had people tell me this game's brutally difficult, like Dark Souls hard. I've had other people tell me it's a cakewalk. I don't even know anything about this game. I don't even know what to think about it other than just the way it looks. I can envision it in my mind. I remember what those clips from that trailer looked like. You see the gameplay footage now and how bonkers it is and how striking that looks compared to a bunch of first-person shooters, which is what they like showed on that freaking trailer. This is a solitary journey through the depths of a forbidden island with dangerous, changing environments and hundreds of secrets. Fascinating. I can't believe this came out, and the fact that I got it on the rival console to what it was originally planned for. That's just so weird to me, how things end up like that. Anyway, you can still grab this. It's up for sale. I think I got it off PlayAsia, along with this game. This is Rattergy 2. And I know this doesn't look like it doesn't look like anything. It's on the PS5. Okay, what is Rattergy? Rattergy is a Japanese game. It's a shoot 'em up, and Rattergy is a combination of the two words radio and allergy. And I've talked about these games or this series a few times on my channel. They are the most bonkers, weird, stupid, dumbly designed shoot 'em ups that have ever been made. Okay? They're made by Milestone, which I think maybe they changed their name to Beep or something, whatever the case. Usually the games, if you just like don't press any buttons, you can just win, but they have some sort of weird mechanics, and I have no doubt this has some weird freaking mechanic in it. If you want to hear me describe what it's like to play one of these games, I did a review on the second channel about Illmatic Envelope Swamp. That's the name of the game, Illmatic Envelope Swamp. 3 just random words, and one of those is just made up, which is made by this same company. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. No joke, that game, I couldn't figure out how to play it. I watched a basic tutorial on the basic mechanics of the game on YouTube, and that video was like an hour and a half long, and it didn't even dive into like half the mechanics. We're talking about the most complicated games ever made. Anyway, this is it. This is the sequel, Radio Allergy 2, Rattergy 2, and I grabbed it. I probably won't like this game. They're not known to be great games. They're just known to be weird and strange. Now, I threw this game in with those last 2 games so I could get free shipping. Now, this looked good. It got good reviews. It's the Japanese version of the game, but it apparently has English on the disc. And I don't know a flippin' thing about this game. I bought it based on the fact that it was like $35 and I needed $100 for free shipping. I needed to spend something that was like $33, and this is what I came up with, but it got good reviews, and it had, like I said, English on disc. It's Rusted Moss on the PS5. And I look at the back of this, it looks like Mega Man mixed with Bionic Commando, but I don't know that's what it is. It could be anything. It could be a one-on-one arena combat game. It could be a Metroidvania. It could be any number of things. But I'm intrigued as crap about this game. It also has this just circle in the bottom right of the cart that looks like a printing test, but right on the front cover. Why? What? It's just like, what am I supposed to think of it? You know more about this game at the time I watched this video than I know, because you can see the gameplay footage. I don't know what it looks like. I've never watched the gameplay footage, but intrigued to have this. I do this sometimes intentionally, just buy something on a whim based on just the review score and the fact that it kind of looked, the screenshots looked kind of cool, because I found really cool games in my life doing that. This next game's in a series that I love. Even though I've only played one of them, it blew me away so much that I bought every single game in the series at the time, and I've continued to buy them as they come out, and there's like 2 of them a year. But it's Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And I mean, this is like a prequel in the Like a Dragon series, which is what Yakuza is called now. I don't know what's going on with this one. I think it's just the sequel to like the Like a Dragon, which is Yakuza 8. Maybe? So is this Yakuza 9 or is this a spinoff? I can't remember. When it gets picked for me to randomly play, I'll have to investigate and figure out which one I'm playing in the series next. I need to play Yakuza Kiwami 2 or Yakuza 0. I've only played the first one and I loved it. I just ignored the Yakuza series for years, but after playing that first one, I was just intrigued. So I'm still picking them up. Now we're getting down into the stuff that's been sitting in the closet in the pickups pile for a long time. This is another one from VGNY Soft that's been sitting back there. It's a shoot 'em up. It looks like kind of a Euro shooter, but it's Hyper 5. I was like, is it Hyper S? That doesn't make any sense. Not that Hyper 5 makes any more sense. Why is it called Hyper 5? Well, apparently it's got 5 unique stages. It says it right on the back. Enjoy a side-scrolling shoot 'em up action across 5 unique stages. Configure your loadout and upgrade your weapons in the armory. Definitely a Euro shmup. Blast off for cinematic sci-fi experience inspired by genre classics. Definitely a Euro shmup. Select between progression and precision playstyles. Definitely a Euro shmup. If you guys don't know what a Euro shmup is, it's an old term we use when we talk about shoot 'em ups, differentiating between Japanese style and Euro style. The Japanese tended to play on like consoles, so the gameplay was very simple and fast back then, and it was all about memorization and technique. In Europe, they tended to favor computers, personal computers like the Commodore 64 and the ZX Spectrum, things like that. They didn't like process the game very fast, but of course they wanted to play shoot 'em up, so they focused on like graphics and like upgrade trees and things like that. So that's kind of what differentiates between a standard Japanese style and a Euro style shoot 'em up. This is definitely a Euro shmup. When they say like, upgrade your weapons, the Japanese would be like, why do you need to upgrade your weapons? Just focus on getting better. And in Europe, they're kind of like, well, you need options for different people. You know, it's this whole like mindset. But people that are into shoot 'em ups tend to look down on Euro shmups because they're not as skill-based, they're more grindy-based. And I like that sometimes. I like both. There's definitely a Euro shmup. You can see it on the screen. This next game came from Limited Run Games like a million years ago. Like I said, it's been sitting in the closet forever. I'm just now getting to it. It's Getsu Fumiden Undying Moon. And I know you're looking at this right now and you're like, what is that game? And I'm right there with you. This is a Konami game. And from what I understand, this is like a spiritual spin-off of Castlevania. This is a 2-bit hack and slash platforming. Let's read what it says. Getsu Fumiden Undying Moon combines intense roguelite, I did not know that, worrisome or exciting, depending on how it goes, roguelite hack and slash action with a stunning dark fantasy world brought to life through the stroke of traditional Japanese art. As the chosen leader and guardian of the land of the living, wield the otherworld arsenal and powers of the Getsu clan as you overcome multiple death. It says overcome multiple death, not deaths, just death. That's just, I don't... grammar hard, and descend deeper into the depths of hell to eradicate the source of the cataclysm. Looks dope as hell. Looks crazy, looks sick. I'm so glad this came out. I'm glad I grabbed it on the Switch. Sorry it took me so long to talk about it. Like I said, I can only put so many things in these videos. They just get too long, man. We're only like halfway done with this one. All right, it's almost time to do the giveaway. But first, Strictly Limited, they had to send me a Christmas present. Thank you so much, Strictly Limited, for these games. They sent these to me for review when I review them. They put no obligations on me. It's not a sponsored video. These are just gifts. Now, my favorite horizontal shoot 'em up of all time is Death Smiles 1. Death Smiles 2 was an Xbox 360 exclusive in Japan, and it was not region free, so you had to have a Japanese Xbox 360, which I don't have, so I never played Death Smiles 2. They recently re-released it on a compilation, and I bought the Japanese version of it on the Nintendo Switch. I haven't played it yet, sadly. It hasn't been picked for me, but so glad to have it. After I already bought it and received it, Strictly Limited ported it over for a Western audience. And since I already had the collector's edition from Japan, I didn't buy it. Well, Strictly Limited remedied that, and they sent me the collector's edition of Death Smiles 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch. Death Smiles 1 is a really cool claymation side-scrolling shoot 'em up with these like gothic Lolita characters. It's a ton of fun. It's my favorite horizontal shoot 'em up of all time. The second one is not known to be as good, and it's a step back, but still supposed to be pretty decent. And it's Christmas themed. There just aren't a lot of Christmas themed video games, let alone shoot 'em ups. And so I'm really excited to try that. So I'm glad that I have like all of the collector's editions of the Death Smiles games. And if you want to see them, I'll show them to you right now. This is like I said, the Switch version from Strictly Limited. This is the PS4 version of it from Japan. This is the Love Max edition. And here's the Xbox 360 original release of Death Smiles. And it has a faceplate in it, which is why it comes in a big box like this. But thank you, Strictly Limited, for sending that to me. They also sent me this, which is really heavy. I don't know what's in it. But this is like the spiritual successor to Strider on the Genesis and the arcade. It's Cannon Dancer, and this is the PS5 Collector's Edition. Thank you for that. I don't know much about it. You can see the gameplay footage, as always. But like I said, it's supposed to be like freaking Strider. Like it's a hack and slash side scroller. This looks really cool. I'm excited to jump into this. I don't know much about it. I'm not sure why I didn't pick this up, but I know that Radical Reggie and Metal Jesus really like this game. So I'm glad to have a copy of it too. And now it's time to do the giveaway from Strictly Limited. Thank you for sending this for me to give away as a gift. It's the Irem collection. It comes with the postcard. And this has Image Fight 2, and X Multiply. 3 classic shoot 'em ups on it. And this is the PS4 version of the game. And how can you win this? Well, all you have to do is be subscribed and leave me a comment down below. Say whatever you want about the video or me or Strictly Limited or whatever, but the comment that has the most likes 1 week from the day this video comes out, 7 days, it's gonna be on Saturday, I'll message you and let you know that you won. And then you can get in touch with me on social media and I will send this to you with a couple of other little RNG goodies. How's that sound? Do you like that? Is that fair? Just the top comment wins. Get to commenting. Thank you so much to my channel members and Patreon supporters. If you would like to support this channel, you can do that in the description down below. There are links there for you to do that. We have 8 more games to talk about, and they're all in this own little theme of games that I've either played before and needed a physical copy of, or they're games that are like in my wish list that I was hoping an update would come out to, or they're games that I already owned and just haven't gotten to yet, but a better version came out. All right, stuff like that, like games I intend to play, but for some reason couldn't, or they didn't exist. This is dumb, whatever. Just roll with it. Everybody loves Lara Croft, we love Tomb Raider. She had 2 games that came out in the Xbox 360 era that were overhead twin stick shooters. I played the first one, which was called freaking, I don't know, the Guardian of Light or something, and then there was one called the Temple of Osiris. I didn't play it. I played one with a buddy, the first one, and had a great time with it. Well, they put them both out on a compilation on the Nintendo Switch. This is the Lara Croft collection, and these are fun, man. They're twin stick shooters with like beloved characters with some like pretty decent puzzle elements in it. I loved the first one. Like I said, I never played the other one, but it looks like the second one has 4-player co-op, which might be like really fun. Anyway, I kind of want to play these with my daughter. I know it's rated teen, but she's 10. She might be okay with this. I love Persona 4 and Persona 5. I flip-flop between which one's my favorite. Now, I played Persona 3 on the PlayStation Portable PSP, the really expensive one. I have it. I played a little bit of it, but I never finished it, and I don't remember why. But I've been meaning to go back and finish Persona 3. I have both versions of the PS2. They were in the backlog when Atlus announced this game. It's Persona 3 Reload, and this is the remake of Persona 3. Now, Atlus has a real bad freaking habit of putting out a game, and you play it, and then like a year later they put out an updated version of it with like expanded content. They already did that with freaking Persona 3. They put out Persona 3 and then Persona 3 FES like a year later. They did that with freaking Persona 5. They put out Persona 5, then they put out Persona 5 Royal like a year later. They swore they wouldn't do that with this one. And so I didn't buy it when it came out, waiting a year to see if they did an update, and they haven't done it. So I went ahead and got this. It was a Black Friday deal. This has replaced the Persona 3 FES in my backlog. So it got upgraded to this. So this is what we'll be playing when it gets picked. This game was a Super Nintendo game or a Super Famicom game. It was region exclusive. It's the first game in a beloved series that I think I have all the other games for and have spent a bunch of money on them, but I haven't played them because I didn't have the first one. Anyway, Limited Run Games decided to use their Carbon engine to port this over from the Super Famicom to the PS5. My eyes are still closed. I'm off camera, but it's Clock Tower Rewind. This is the first Clock Tower game that came out on the Super Famicom, and they put it on the PS5 here. I'm gonna play this. I can't wait to play it. It's a side-scrolling adventure game, survival horror game. Way Forward worked on it. Capcom, Sunsoft. There are so many companies collaborating on the back of this. Look at this. Capcom, Sunsoft, Way Forward, Limited Run Games, and then Carbon Engine. That's their proprietary emulation software for porting over old games, and it's hit or miss. But I think it'll be fine on a slow-paced game like Clock Tower. Anyway, so glad to have that, and so glad I didn't have to get a repro or what do they call them? A bootleg where they like translate it like a ROM hack on a Super Nintendo cartridge. Glad to have it on the PS5. Like everyone else in the video game collecting sphere and the gaming sphere, I love Video Game Donkey's YouTube channel. I think he's one of the most clever and funny and best YouTubers there is out there, and he started his own production company, and he put out his first game, and it's Animal Well. And this was like nominated for Game of the Year. Like, that guy just knows what makes a good and fun game. And so when he's like, I'm gonna publish this game, I was like, that game's gonna be good. He knows what people want, so he had freaking Limited Run Games put out a copy of it, a physical copy of it. So I grabbed this, super excited to play this. It looks like a magnificent game. I'm sure it definitely deserves all the accolades it's received. Can't wait to play this one. We've already mentioned Lara Croft once in Tomb Raider. Would you believe I've never finished any of the original 3 Tomb Raider games? I own all of them. I have the freaking re-release of them on the Evercade. I owned the first one as a kid and never got like out of the first area of it. It was too clunky. But they've updated the controls and they've remastered it. They put it out physically from Limited Run Games, but it's the Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 Remastered Collection. This is Tomb Raider's, I mean, you know what it is, you know, Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. With non-tank controls. Now, I hear it's still a little clunky, and by a little, I mean clunky is absolute hell, but way more doable. So I'm gonna go through and play these. I really do like the Tomb Raider games. I love them. I really liked the reboot that started with, you know, Shadow of the Tomb Raider and all that crap. I thought those were so good. I'm kind of sad to see that they've sort of quit putting those out. I liked those. Not as much as Uncharted, but they were up there. Looking forward to these. Lara Croft's a great character. This game is notable for one very particular reason. We all know how GameStop is absolutely terrible about putting freaking stickers all over their games. This one had more stickers on it than I have ever seen. And it took me forever to get them off. And in the process, I just absolutely destroyed the case. And I didn't even get them all off. It's Red Out 2. Now, what is Red Out? This is like, it's like Wipeout. It's a hovercraft racing game. I haven't played it. I have the first one. I bought this one because they were doing one of these like buy 2, get 1 free sales. I needed a game that was very specifically like $17. And this was the game that was very specifically $17 that at least I didn't have a bad impression about. But it had the label up here with a price on it, marked down to $17. It started at like $49 and it had like 7 labels. They had put a buy 2, get 1 free sticker on it, which I've never seen before. I don't know why it was on there. On the back over the barcode, they had more of them. But this was previously in some sale they did where they put like a big blue sticker right on the damn spine that said 50% off. And that sticker, I swear, was like baked on to the case. I could not get it off. I put Goo Gone on it, I picked on it, and I picked it so much. Look at this. Let me get off camera here. I picked it so much that I actually tore through the spine of the cover in multiple locations. It's like shredded. I could not. And I am a master label remover. I've been doing this crap for 20 years. I know all the tricks. Nothing worked. That sticker was the worst sticker I've ever seen GameStop ever use. How's the game? I don't know. It was $17. These next 2 games are really special because they announced them for release, but then there was no release made for a Western audience for like a long time period till they sorted out all the issues with them. Then they released them, and I'm glad they did it that way. First up, we have Alan Wake 2. This was nominated and maybe won Game of the Year. They only released it digitally. Everybody was super pissed off about that, myself included. But after they got all the bugs sorted out, and everything worked out, then they put out a physical copy of it, which I would rather them do it like that every time. Just get it all sorted out before you eternalize it by pressing it to a disc. I played the first Alan Wake on the Xbox 360 and really enjoyed it, but it was so long ago, and it definitely left us on a bit of a cliffhanger. So I'm excited to see what happens in the second one. So I understand there's a much longer game, it's more expounded upon, but the developer Remedy has a really unique take on their games. They feel different than almost any other publisher. They did Control, which I just covered in a video not that long ago. They did the Max Payne games, all of which have really interesting set pieces and memorable parts to them. And I know friggin' Alan Wake 2 is exactly the same. I've heard people mention some parts that really stand out to them, so I can't wait to play this. And last up, we have a new release on the NES. This got put on the Famicom, made by a company, and they wanted a lot of money for it. And from what I understand, it was kind of a buggy release, and the pins in the Famicom cart were a little too wide, and the game could get like stuck in your Famicom and even damage the Famicom pins. So I didn't buy it, even though I buy like every shoot 'em up that comes out. Well, Limited Run Games put it out physically on the NES and just didn't even announce it or say anything about it, but I grabbed it. It's Astro Ninja Man DX. And this is a really basic one-screen shooter, kind of like Galaga, but really zany and weird. Let's read what it says on the back. There's not much to say about this. I want you to get to see some of the gameplay footage, but in a desperate last stand for planet Earth, humankind's years of scientific progress have resulted in a terrible crisis. The Earth's powerful new gravity field has begun to attract monsters from across the galaxy, all focused on a single goal: invasion and annihilation. Our last hope is Ninja Man, Astro Ninja Man to be specific, to protect Earth from these cosmic invaders. Anyway, looks really cool, really fun, very simple game. This was still like $60 for this physical NES version, but I think the Famicom version was like 80 or 90, and it tore up your system. So glad that they finally put this one out. If you think I've earned it, do that for me. Subscribe to the channel, give me a like. You're gonna leave a comment because you wanna win that game. And I'll catch you guys in the next video next week.